stories do. For generations, media measured itself by circulation, demographics, and yesterday's definitions of influence. But the world has changed. Today, the most powerful currency in media is inspiration. At the Los Angeles Tribune, storytelling is not just journalism, it's art. We are a Grammy-nominated storytelling company, shaping narratives that reach across industries, cultures, and generations. Through documentary films, podcasts, audiobooks, virtual summits, global journals, and stages that bring leaders together, we share stories that uplift, empower, and move people forward. We blend the legacy of a historic newspaper brand with the creative power of modern media. Because the future of media isn't just about reporting what happened, it's about inspiring what's possible. We are the Los Angeles Tribune, a Grammy-nominated storytelling company, challenging the status quo of media.
Hello and welcome. It's such a delight to be with you both. Hello, especially beautiful Marie.
Thank you so much for being here with you, Alisha. It's always a delight and lovely to connect with Julianne.
Yes, always a delight. And Julianne, hello, beautiful.
Hi, I am so excited for today. I've been looking forward to this conversation, not only with you two ladies, but we do have some other guests that will be joining us in a little bit as well. And I am just excited for this conversation.
Beautiful. I am as well. And not that Marie needs any introduction, but for those of you who have been on an island, she is a world-renowned Feng Shui master. I can test. This is all Marie's handiwork. I'll tell you the story of how it saved my home from the fire later. World-renowned Feng Shui master, teacher of millions, law of attraction teacher, from The Secret. And really, I am so privileged to call you my friend.
Thank you so much, Alisha. It's wonderful to have you here. And you're such a dear sister. Thank you.
Thank you. Right back at you, my love. So Marie, knowing you so well, you have extraordinary stories, and I don't know if all of them have been told publicly. And so I'm going to leave this open-ended so you can decide which of your incredible stories to tell. Can you tell us about a time in your life, because this is the leadership week, tell us about a time in your life when you knew, and you've known since a very young child, that you were called to serve many, 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 many millions. And tell us about a time early on when you knew you were called into something great and obstacles kept throwing themselves in your path, as happens when one is called to something great. How did you persist, endure, and what advice do you have to other leaders?
Yeah, thank you. Well, when I really moved to the United States, as any immigrant will experience in any country you immigrate to, is that you come in with so much desire to do great, to bring beautiful energy to your family. And I think one time, I just had, already had some students and clients, and I became pregnant again. And I actually gave birth to my beautiful daughter. And I remember that at the moment of, giving birth and going through this hospitalization, and suddenly all my, my expenses were so high that I literally had $10 on my bank account. Yeah. And wondering if I hope that she would she would accept my breastfeeding, because I didn't have the money to buy milk. And so I was like, okay, now I am here in the United States. I'm here to reach millions of people here, and I can't even afford to give food to my daughter, perhaps. And at that moment, you just you know you're called to leadership. And I was already known, and I was already mentoring some very amazing top leaders, but I myself was quite still hiding. I was still not very visible. It's all before The Secret. And then to know at that moment to just totally surrender to the grace of God. Yeah. And I just kept hearing I need to call a friend. And I called her, and I was humble and said, look, she said, like, how's it going? I said, I mean, it's the greatest day of my life, and it's the worst day of my life at the same time. And she was like, tell me. And even as leaders, you have to be able to be open for help and
Yes.
being assisted by others. And I was like, whoa, I need to really be humble here. So I told her literally the situation. And she's like, this is not okay. And I didn't know how she was going to solve that. But I had helped a few billionaires. I feng shuied the homes a couple of months before she knew them. She called them, and she literally made sure they sent me a check, and I could take 4 months off. And so everything was paid by them. And I was like, oh my God, like overnight they sent me a huge check. And that was like by me saying, as a leader, I sometimes need to also allow grace to happen and allow to ask for support in my life, especially when you're leading so many others. So that was definitely a big shift for me, right? Because sometimes when you're helping and being of service to so many others, you don't always see your own needs and your own problems. And I know, Alisha, you've been through tremendous year yourself with the fires in LA. And I also seen that you needed to do the same thing. And perhaps it was easier for you, but that was a really hard nut to crack. I have to be honest. But the moment I did that, suddenly it was like, I do believe that was part of me being able to get into The Secret and to reach millions of people, because if I was not able to be in that space of allowing help, I would not be able to step even more in great leadership.
That is such a gorgeous story, and delightfully not one I have heard. And I have heard many miraculous stories from you. So that was beautiful. And it makes me think this is so important for leaders to realize, is receptivity, of course, humility, being a servant leader, but that receptivity. I was facilitating a spiritual class just a few days ago, and my co-facilitator said their experience of Jesus, and of course there's many spiritual masters, their experience of Jesus was that, of course, Jesus had many gifts, but it was that he was a perfect receiver of the Spirit. And then one of our colleagues, another fellow Hay House author, said he'd gone to Egypt, and he met with a master, a Sufi master. And the Sufi master said, you're going to be a profound spiritual master. You only need to do one thing. And this is a very accomplished person. He said, one thing, and that will be the hardest thing for you. And that is to receive.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Julianne. Yeah.
No, I was going to say, I love that, because, the flow of energy, it's not just one way. And Marie, you definitely understand energy and how, and you too, Alisha. But I just really want to highlight this idea of that you are still a powerful leader, even though you needed some assistance as well. That doesn't make you less of a leader. And I think that in our day and age, there's a lot of people out there that think, oh, I'm an imposter, or I'm not actually good at what I do because I need help too. And I would love to know how you were able to kind of change your thinking and receive that with grace and ease, and be able to use it so that you could become an even more profound leader yourself.
Yeah, and thank you for these beautiful remarks. And I think it's so important what you said about being a receptor. Like, I go out in the world and now, people come up to me and they know me from The Secret. They know me from Mind Valley. They know me from Los Angeles Tribune. They know me from different outlets of transformation. And to still, each time that comes to you, just be so grateful that, I followed my purpose to bring transformation forward, even at times where I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going, but still trusting that inner voice and to allow the universe, God, to lead me in leading others, right? Because ultimately, it's not just you leading people. You are a vessel of leadership. I do believe that. And so to stay in that surrender of that being the vessel of leadership, um, and then when people come to you or send you messages or talk to you, to just know that yes, I am that vessel of leadership, and of course accepting graciously that compliment, that feedback, but also I always then do like and give it back to the universe, to God, because not just like, oh, this is because of me, but thank you and thank you.
Yes, so beautiful, and that is my experience of you. And so, I want to talk more about spiritual leadership. You knew this was coming from me. So spiritual leadership, and that being a conduit, and again being a servant leader, where you are. And I feel blessed that I've really gotten to experience with you very much that spiritual leadership. I know many have, but I don't know that the world quite has seen that yet. But I believe it's coming more and more. Talk to us a little bit, if you would, Marie, about that being a conduit of spirit while being so dynamic and successful in the world. That balance, that dance.
Yeah. It's a beautiful dance, but it's a dance for sure. Like to be in the world as a businesswoman, as a leader running, all the programs that I'm doing, and at the same time being in that spiritual leadership. So for me, my spiritual leadership really came in when I had a near-death experience when I was 15 years old. And when I went to the other side and I was given the message by beautiful beings of light, some would call them archangels or masters, saying like, you are here to enlighten more than 500 million people. And I was like, totally
I don't
saying
think they caught that number, 500 million. And she is well on her way.
Well, it's interesting. Yeah, I am. But yeah, that was like, first of all, I was 15. This is like literally almost 50 years ago, right? So there was no internet, right? Nothing that could make that happen. But I remember that I was very clear, like, I don't need to do that all at once. I can do that by every day being that listening to God, to the Spirit, and to see where I needed to help people. And that could be somebody in my classroom. I was a teenager. It could be I was in the Catholic Church, helping out in the organizations there, being leader of the Scouts, whatever I could do. I was not counting in numbers. I was counting in possibilities and impact. And so I was like, okay, this is my impact number. If I reach it one day, and I do believe with The Secret, we did reach that already just by this movie alone. But I was always looking at, whatever I do, I know God is sending me to the places, to the people, to the opportunities, to the experiences, to create positive impact and to create enlightenment. But enlightenment for me is helping people to believe back into their own light and the light that is in their heart and mind and soul, and for people to raise their frequencies and to really have hope again, and to go into transformation and to be on purpose for in their own lives. So for me, that was always that part. And I always feel that it was an everyday, and that's why I think spiritual leadership is something that's an everyday connection, yeah, with spirit, and allowing you every day to be led, towards the next thing that you need to be or need to be present. So I'm in total surrender to that, yeah, to be led by spirit and whatever you call that yourself. And then the more you are being led into that, the more you embody it also. And the more then people then feel it in your presence. Yeah, when you are talking to them, when you're just being with them, whatever it is, they feel that deep connection that you have with spirit, and then that will inspire them perhaps in some way, um, through your kindness, through your contribution, in whatever way it is. Yeah, so that's for me spiritual leadership.
Very beautiful. Did you want to jump in on that, Julianne?
I love this idea, because as I'm listening to what you're sharing, Marie, I'm thinking about how we live in this 3D world, yet we are so much bigger than what we are in the human form. And this idea of being open to the idea that it comes through you instead of believing that it is you. And that way, so much more and bigger things can become. Because like when you were 15, no internet. How would that have ever possibly happened if you hadn't been open to it? Then the way became. And I just want to point out too that you haven't stopped, even though you technically reached that goal. It was just like, okay, I'm going to keep going. And so it's exciting that you're going to join us for Leadership Week, because you're going to be sharing even more then. But honestly, for people that are still struggling in this form, this humanness that we experience, what would you tell to somebody that maybe they just need to get out of their own way a little bit and sort of just let spirit through? Because it's easy to say, and sometimes when you're down in the fields, it's not as easy to do. And Alisha, you know this with your experience this last year. Oh my goodness, when things are not going your way, it's so much harder.
Yeah, and it's not that the life has given me all the time oranges, right? So I come from a family where there was a lot of physical and emotional abuse. I had a bankruptcy experience. I have been without a house a few times. I've been sick quite a bit in my life. The last 20 years, that's all like behind me. But I mean, there were really tough times. But I also knew that all these experiences were part of my spiritual leadership role. So that when then I talk to people, I can say, I've been there. I know what it is. Yeah. And I know Alisha and I talked a lot about this, and as friends, is that the greatest elders, the greatest leaders are not the ones that kind of went with ease through their life. Yeah. The greatest leaders are the ones that really had difficult times, and then they can literally uplift people, support them, encourage them to really become a better human being. And so the stories I can tell, the advice I can give, it's because I had to go to the ups and downs of life, and I was able to get on the other side. And even still today, some things can happen in your life that you don't feel the greatest. But the more you are practicing the level of, transformation, the easier it will become. Of course, at this moment, you're probably like, oh, Marie, that doesn't give me a really great advice, but I'm telling you, it will become better. And whatever is happening right now, there is a community, the Los Angeles Tribune, there is people around you. Just share, like I had to share, I need some help.
So beautiful.
And I just want to thank Marie Diamond for being one of the leaders of that community here at the Los Angeles Tribune. And I want to invite a couple more people to join this conversation. Of course, behind me, we have the Pillars of Power poster, and we have the film series that's launching very soon. And we have a couple of the Los Angeles Tribune producers and members of our community that we'd like to bring to the program. So please, I'd like to welcome Carmen and Samara, who I know both of you are also fans of Marie Diamond, and both of you are members of this community here at the LA Tribune. So I'm going to open up the floor to each of you to also ask Marie a question, please. Samara, please. And you're muted right now, Samara, so we're going to have you unmute. Please, floor is yours.
Still not working.
Can't hear you. So we're gonna see if Carmen has a question while Samara figures out the technical stuff. Carmen, welcome.
Yes, no, thank you so much. I'm honored to be here to be speaking here with Marie Diamond, and I did meet you a couple of weeks ago, so it's so good to see you again over at
Thank you, Carmen.
Yeah, and I mean, how does it feel from 2006, right, to have the anniversary of The Secret? Do you feel like, wow, there's so many changes that have come from that? Are we still where we're at? I mean, and then the Powers of Pillar, like, how does that all come together with you?
Well, I'm first of all very excited for the new movie, the Pillars of Power, because I think in 20 years, so much transformation has happened. And you know, I have traveled to more than 30 countries talking about The Secret, meeting people that 20 years ago had no idea how they could improve themselves, that they had power over their mind, that they could do something with to improve their lives. And I've been from, you know, South America, North America, Europe, Asia, East Europe, to so many places, seen hundreds of thousands of people, and the hope that people received from a movie like The Secret, where they felt like, oh, myself, yeah, I have some inner power to change my life, to choose something different. I have that power. That has been life transforming. And I do believe The Secret is the beginning of a huge movement of self-help and transformation that became more mainstream. And now I'm even more excited about the new movie that the Los Angeles Tribune is bringing forward with some of the people also from The Secret. Well, like 20 years later, we have learned ourselves so much more. We have grown as leaders. We have grown as people, because I at that time was a total unknown person 20 years ago. Like I always say laughingly, I was the most unknown person from The Secret, because I literally had no idea who all these people were. But I got into it, right? Spirit led me there. But I also, 20 years later, you know, every one of us has seen so many people transform. And this is now the time to go to the next level, to go deeper, because The Secret was like, I would say like the appetizer, right? For 20 years, we've eaten the appetizer, and now we're getting to the main meal, and that is the Pillars of Power.
Fantastic.
Very well said. Samara, I don't know if you can.
Yes.
Yay!
I didn't know my microphone could bounce to my phone. It was on my iPhone for some reason. A new feature. So I'm so blessed to be with Marie Diamond, not once, but twice within 2 weeks in 2 different cities. And oh my gosh, such a blessing. In fact, I just moved to a new office. So I have a new home office, and I'm sitting here looking at Alisha's background and Marie's background. I'm like shuffling everything around, throwing things off the shelf. So I created a "What Would Marie Do" post note. So I'm just going to tape that right here with your book. But I do have a question for you. So with this new office, and I've published books, and then I have books of all of our favorite gurus in the business world and self-development improvement. And then, of course, I have awards back there, too. And I know you mentioned this a little bit at Secret Knock. So knowing that most of my clientele is on a Zoom or StreamYard or, virtual because it's global, what are the best things to be behind you? Because I know what you talk about, what we should be looking at, and I'm looking at outside, but what should be behind us? Because I don't want to be using fake backgrounds all the time.
Yeah. So yeah, it's so important right now because you're seeing yourself first of all, but you also want to inspire other people. So I would say to people, it could be a logo of a company, it could be that you put a bookcase behind you where you put some of your books. Uh, so to just or something pleasant at least. Yeah, you did the right thing already. Something pleasant is always helpful, but also it's like I in my book. I say your home is a vision board, but also your screen should be a vision board, right? So that you have things behind you that reflect about what do you bring to the world, what do you do. I was just on an interview with a podcast, and so they had all dried flowers behind them. Yeah. So, and I said to them, well, to be honest, you're actually telling the wrong story. Why would I work with you if you are like dried up? Literally, there's no abundance there, right? So, show who you are, what you can bring to inspire, but don't overdo it either. Yeah, make it sure it's pleasant because I look at it myself all the time during the day, so I need to be like, oh, this is interesting, but I then sometimes use like, oh, this is the book, this is this, right? I use it almost as a map, right? And but you also need to understand that it does give you subconsciously a positive energy, and also the people that work with you, they need to feel positively subconscious connection with you.
Well, if I could, I would have sparklers and fireworks behind me, but that was a little pricey.
And dangerous.
Dangerous. Thank you. And I did actually was thinking about you today because we were getting rid of a lot of things because we just moved 3 weeks ago, and I was throwing not dried flowers, but you know how you buy like wooden flowers and things like that now. So I was tossing some of that out. I was getting rid of things. And you mentioned at Secret Knock how when you have old businesses, so I had events businesses and other things I've done. So there's a lot of framed magazine and newspaper articles and all that. Do you feel like we should be pushing that away so that we can move forward?
No, I think it's good to bring a few in. I mean, I have so much more information than this, but like what is more relevant still for today? I sometimes, when people go to your office, I like kind of creating a hall of fame, right? Where you can then even put some of the extra things out that you perhaps do not want in your office anymore. So you can definitely, like as people would physically walk to you, is that you can hang also some of the other less relevant images up now. But it still needs to kind of connect in with your future, right? So I have books that they're not available anymore. So I will not put them behind me, right? There are books in other languages that I don't have even, right? So I don't put them there because most of the time there's people that are English speaking. So I will put these books out. There are some awards that are so big that I cannot even put them here either, right? So yeah, it needs to be relevant, and you need to look at it and feel like, yeah, that feels good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I advise that everybody gets a WWND sign or posted and put it on in every room.
I really do. I love that, and I will take this one and tell my students.
Thanks, Marie. Thank you, ladies, and Mel.
Well, I wanted to piggyback on that, Marie, for just thinking of what leaders would what would make their hearts sing. So what is, if you had to pick one of your amazing masterful tips on Feng Shui, what is one thing every leader, every heartfelt leader should do Feng Shui wise for their practice, for their lives?
Well, I would definitely say it's what we call the power position. So it's like wherever you are sitting, in the room that you're sitting, that you need to be able to see the people come towards you, because then your heart is open to the people coming towards you. Now, there are people that are entrepreneurs or leaders, and they have because of the arrangement, they put their desk against the wall or against the window, and they literally, their heart cannot be opened that much because you're hitting a wall and you're kind of seeing perhaps the outside door, the outside nature, but that's not where people come in. So if you want to be a heartfelt leader, always make sure you're welcoming people into your space. But that means also any meeting you go to, right? It can be, a lunch meeting, it's a conference room, a hotel, wherever you're going, make sure you set yourself up so you can see the people and so you can smile at people and you can show that you're present for them. So people that are sitting with their back to the door, they're actually literally sitting, 8 hours a day in such a way that they're saying, I'm not interested in you. My heart is not open for you.
My favorite thing that you said about that was, and it gives you an eye into Marie, to her humor, which is not something everyone knows. She has a spectacular sense of humor. And I said, but Marie, so the first time Marie came to Feng Shui in my house, I had this beautiful desk facing a beautiful view in Pacific Palisades. And Marie said, okay, and there was two funny things she said. So first of all, my desk, because I had a lot of family living with me, my desk was in the kitchen. She said, Alisha, first of all, what kind of people work in a kitchen? I'm like, chefs. She said, yes, and busboys and waiters. I'm like, all right, fine, I'm moving out of the kitchen. The second thing, so then I moved into an office and I'm like, Marie, I'm looking at this beautiful view of the Pacific Palisades Mountains. And she said, Alisha, you need to face the door. And I said, but the view. And she said, Alisha, if someone is coming in the window, they are coming to steal your money. If they're coming in the door, they're giving you money. Turn my desk around right then.
So beautiful. Yeah. So, or, you were sitting and seeing all this nature and the birds were your clients, right? So it's the simple techniques. Like I would say every CEO, every leader, and I've been in many houses of multi-billionaires and politicians and royal families, they know this. They know they always need to be able to welcome people in the space. And so just that, I think, is leadership. Yeah.
Beautiful. Donna, welcome. I hear you're joining us during your travels. This is so exciting to have you here with us.
I am from Montana. I am halfway to I'll eventually arrive tomorrow sometime. But yes, I just wanted to jump on and say, Marie, thank you for joining us here tonight. It's amazing. I am so thrilled that you are with some of our upcoming executive producers and with Julianne and of course Alisha, who I met through you. And I just wanted to share also, I know that you've recently shared on our Speakers Inner Circle that we had. And so the next day I took more of your advice. I cleaned out my success corner and literally since I've done that, put in the items I wanted, my life has been nothing but magical the last 3 days. So thank you for that. So get her book, listen to the wisdom, definitely do that. I've been having the time of my life since that happened. So thank you.
So happy to hear that, Donna.
Well, and I have to share, sitting here in Pacific Palisades, and you've all heard of the Palisades fire, and I am sitting in my home. So Marie feng shuied my home not once, but twice. Very, very lucky. And a friend of mine's and then two others in the Palisades. All four of those homes are still standing.
Oh, wow. Only those four, though.
Well, not only those four, but
there's magic there. There's magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
that.
that.
That was, thank God for that, Alisha, that you still have a home. Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. I have a question. There's certain times and places where we aren't able to maybe move the furniture because it's not ours to move, or we don't have the opportunity to set up the environment the way we would ultimately like it to be. What are some things that we can do in order to combat that or bring a more positive energy to the space ourselves?
Yeah, so based on your birthday, you actually have 4 directions that are very powerful, and especially one that Donna just was commenting on your success direction. So people can download the free Marie Diamond app, and it will be asking you a birthday and a birth gender. And then based on that, you will get like a compass, and everybody has a success direction. So the first thing you do, and I have lived in 7 countries. I've been in so many homes. The first thing, even in a hotel room I go in, I take my compass and I check where is my success direction. And so my success direction is where then I make sure there's no clutter, there's no bin. I always have some post-it notes with me, to be honest, and I put some of my goals and hang them up. I always put there my latest book, my business cards, or anything that I have with me. I place that in that direction because based on your birthday, there is a direction connect between the 3-dimensional world and the universe or the 5th-dimensional field. That is actually a portal of a vibration, a portal of energy. And so that is for your whole life the same direction, by the way. So for me, that's Southwest. One of the reasons I came to live in Los Angeles, because if you look at the map of the United States, this is the southwest corner. Yeah. And so I did not plan to live on the East Coast because for me personally, I'm not saying it won't help you, but we say Feng Shui is 1/3 of your results. So your environment, the place where you work, sleep, and live, is affecting you nonstop, 24 hours a day. So if you can find your success direction, even if you cannot do anything else, you can put a little table, check out what is there right now in so many Airbnbs and homes I've been there. I take things off like this is not correct, this is not the best thing, or there's a dead plant there, I take it out. When I'm going back and I'm leaving that space, I put it back. But I always have a little bit of small things with me that I can place to activate it. But you can literally use some index cards and write some goals down and put it in your success direction.
I love that. I have to tell you something really quick too, is that my cousin and I pulled out your app and we were doing that and we both realized that we instinctively moved our bodies into that success corner and set it up without actually knowing. So I just wanted to say that we were both pretty excited about that.
Yeah, because that is when people are in tune, there's like the inner compass. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so they go to that direction. I literally so many times I'm like, oh, I need to do this. And then I check my compass and I'm in the right direction. And I've seen with a lot of very top people that they put their desk in the exact right direction. They had no idea about Feng Shui because they were really in tune with themselves.
Beautiful.
I do have to ask, Marie, when you travel and you're in hotel rooms, do you Feng Shui your hotel room?
I always do. Yes.
Okay. Because I'm in a lot of hotel rooms now.
Yeah. So I always have like a book with me. I have a picture of my family with me. I have a few crystals with me. I always have lavender mist with me because to spray the energy because people have been in a space so much. I always have a big scarf with me to cover if possible, the television, because the television is like a mirror and reflects you. You will always have a harder time to sleep. I always unplug the telephone and make sure the telephone is far away from me, like the hotel telephone, right? So because that creates disturbances. So I always make sure that I take my clothes, hang them up, even if it's for one night. And I put my luggage in the cabinet. I always keep things very clean and organized because that night, or that evening is again a base of energy that I need to have for the next day. Perhaps I'm speaking there, I'm working with a client. So yes, I honor every space that I'm in.
Great.
That's very beautiful. That's such a great tip and so simple to do in any space we're in. Marie, I wanted to ask, since since you are such a profound spiritual leader, would you be willing to lead us and all the beautiful leaders who are going to be watching this, lead us in a brief meditation to leadership of the heart?
Of course, with pleasure. So may I invite you to all sit relaxed, put your feet next to each other, your hands not crossed, and just close your eyes and take a deep breath in and out. And as you are breathing in, just connecting with the life force that is in the universe. It is present all around us. We can call that the grace of God, spirit, or just energy, chi. And just open yourself to that energy and the highest level of energy that is present in your space. And fill your body with that light. You can visualize that crystal white light, and everything in your body that is not that light, perhaps worries and fear and perhaps sadness and anger, or any toxins you feel, any illness, diseases, just accept now that light and say to your body, everything that is not on that level of energy, I release it. And take a deep breath in and out and release it. Even the dogs are enjoying this meditation. And then visualize that light is also around you. Because as leaders, we are not just our body, we are our expression of energy, we are our aura field, we are charismatic beings of energy. So visualize that that light is all around you, and just see that extending for at least one arm length above you, around you, behind you, under you, in front of you. And just fill up that space with that beautiful light. And again, if there is heaviness in your life, you're holding on to things from the past, you feel worried about the future, just imagine that light is coming as a shower through your body, through your aura field, and you're releasing the energy to your feet, to the ground. Take a deep breath in and out. And then visualize the color royal blue. Royal blue is a spiritual color of divine power. And this color is used by many royal families, leaders. They wear this color because they know it's in connection with a frequency of divine power. And so visualize now that royal blue energy coming all around your aura field and under you. And as you are connecting with it consciously, state for yourself, I am the power of the universe within me and around. You are a vessel of that universal power. You are an expression of it. And when you have that around you, then all that is good and all that can support you in being the best leader possible for humanity will come towards you. And all that is not in that frequency and is stopping you from being the best leader for humanity will stay away from you. The royal blue is a filter of energy. And you can even hold in your hands symbolically a sword and visualize that sword being surrounded with royal blue energy. And perhaps there are connections you have made over the years of your life that you feel are holding you back in being the leader that you are. Perhaps there are some traumatic experiences, some disappointments, judgments, anything that you feel is holding you back. Take that sword and visualize now. You're cutting these cords gently. And anyone that is connected with these cords, it can be old friends, old clients, old experiences, old connections, just gently say thank you for being in my life and I let you go. I am free now from this because all that was holding you back is now not longer present in your energy field. And now you choose to allow, by your conscious choices, to have the right people, the right experiences, the right opportunities, the right communities to come to you that will be in vibration of that divine power, will be in accordance and coherence with that frequency. And accept that now. Expect and accept now this energy to come in lovingly, supportively, and open your heart now to receive them. Receive all the goodness, all the experiences for you to become a more kind and heartfelt leader for your community and humanity. Take a deep breath in and accept that now. Bring your hands together, move your hands, bring your warm hands in front of your eyes, and gently open your eyes. Thank you.
Thank you. That was divine.
It was fabulous.
So it's just being in the right frequency, right? Is so important. And we're also, as leaders, we've gone through things in our life. Like I said, you don't become a leader if everything went easy. And so, but sometimes we're having still these little chips on our shoulders, right? That we are thinking back about certain situations, or thinking, well, is that still there? Is that still present? Just release it. It's not needed anymore. You're all amazing human beings, and Spirit has chosen you to be leaders. And that's why we also have the Los Angeles Tribune and Mo and Donna and the whole team to support us. And so we are blessed and we're grateful to have them in our lives.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think we're regrettably coming somewhat close to our time. Did Samira or Carmen, did you have any other questions?
Yeah. I do have one quick question. A lot of us are working from home now too. So how do you do the Feng Shui to separate business and personal and family? Like how should that Feng Shui be?
Well, one of the things if possible, I would always suggest is not to have your office or workspace in your bedroom. Because when it's in your bedroom, literally your brain is like, do I work? Do I sleep? Yeah. It doesn't know the difference. Yeah. So have your workspace in a living room or a family room, if possible, in a separate room is even the best. So you have every space has a dedication or an intention. The living room, family room is your family. Your kitchen is your family. The bedroom is your romantic life with your partner, and perhaps a healing space or meditation space for you. And then your office, keep it separately, if possible. And if you cannot, because you're working at your dining room table, make sure that before you start working, that everything around you is cleared. Yeah, so you cannot start working with your breakfast next to you. Yeah, so that is like, again, very confusing for your body and your brain. So clear things up. Or when people are sitting in their sofa and there's all toys of the kids around them, I said your brain again is like, do I focus on business? How can I bring in business? How can I work with my clients if I at the same time I still have to play with my kids? Yeah. Right. So make sure you get very clear where you are, what you do. And sometimes say to people, have a little basket, put all your things in there, and then when you're working, take it out, put it on your dining room table. When it's time to eat, put it back in the basket, put it away. So in that sense, be clear that your space needs to represent what you are focusing on.
Great. Thank you as usual.
I'd like to go along with what Carmen just asked. So I have a den, which is great. It's facing the kitchen, but I do have my exercise bike and bar and weights and all that in here. So I figure it's the representation of strength. So it's okay to be in there?
Well, as long as it's not really in one of your good directions, yeah, you have your compass.
On my left side, yeah.
Yeah, but you have to check, in that area. Now, one thing I try to avoid is seeing the sink or the stove. Yeah? Because the sink is considered losing money and the stove is burning up the money. Yeah? So if you have some possibility to put where you're working, put like a screen in front of it, or put a beautiful plant, or on the island on orchids, something that you don't see your kitchen so much, that would be very helpful. Because again, your brain is like, do I need to make food? Do I need to take care of the family? So again, your brain is not focused. Yeah. So I would suggest to do some work with that. So good question.
I love that with the stove in the kitchen. And then the desk itself, should I be clearing everything off of the desk?
Well, I would say before you start in the morning, like right now, my desk is not perfect because I've been working the whole day. But before I go away from my desk, I clear it, yeah, so that in the morning I have a fresh start. If I cannot do it in the evening, then I start with a fresh start. I put everything in the right place, in the right drawers, right files, so that you start with space around you, because your brain is constantly picking up the energy that is around you. So in the morning, and you have still cups and glasses from the day before, you take it away, right? So make sure there's space to breathe, to focus, and to have your intention on your business.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Donna missed it earlier because she was on her way to Japan. But Donna, I took Marie's business card and put a WWMD. What would Marie do? And
I love it.
That's going to be in front of me at all times.
That is perfect.
I'm actually going to make special cards to give to people because it's so funny, right? And I will just
yours. It's your gift for telling me that my mom went to the light when she passed away. So you get it.
Thank you. Yeah. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, ladies, to have spent time, and Alisha to lead away. And I can't wait to be at the 26th of April, right, Donna?
Yes. It's a private event, though.
It's a private event. I know.
Yes.
Thank God I'm invited.
We'll make we can't talk about it in June.
So when is the movie coming really out, Donna?
It'll be officially launched at the movie premiere at the beginning part of June. So we're fine-tuning those details for everyone.
Okay, amazing.
That will be a public, will that be a premiere where?
Yes, it'll be a premiere. It'll be a public event.
Okay, I need to be able to be here then. So
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it. But I
Yes.
can't wait already to see it. I remember the first time I saw The Secret, and I was like so blown away because that was also my first TV interview ever. So that was the first in front of a camera that I did an interview. Right? I've been on camera, but like where they kind of filmed me doing something, but never had been interviewed. So I can't wait to now see this, and it'll be amazing.
Earlier today, I'll share a little secret, Marie. In between my flights, we were working on the trailer with my editing team. And I actually almost missed my second flight because I was so involved. And I have these lists of all of your quotes from when I filmed you. And we were debating which one is the most powerful one we should put in the movie trailer. I like all of them.
Well, I'm looking forward to be in the trailer with a good quote then. Yeah.
Yeah, so very good quote. And you're all throughout the movie as well. So I'm way excited.
Thank you. Yeah.
Beautiful. Can't wait to see that. And of course, and Marie's my date for this cast party. And I wanted to just ask that we all of us present and all of us watching this whenever it's released, send a happy birthday and beautiful wishes to our beloved CEO, Mo Rock, because his birthday is the next day, April 27th. So
All right.
I hope that wasn't a secret.
No,
but
not a secret.
just ask that we all send him our gratitude and our love and best
Absolutely.
birthday wishes.
Absolutely. Happy birthday.
Absolutely. And also, while we're all here, I want to remind everyone and mention that Leadership Week 2026 is happening May 1st to May 7th.
Yeah.
And very excited. We already have over 100 speakers that have signed up, and we're expected to be over 200 amazing leaders who will be sharing their wisdom with everyone. So be sure to keep your eyes peeled. I think we're going to have the website up live tomorrow, actually. So very excited about that.
I remember when Los Angeles Tribune started really focusing on leadership, there were just a few of us, right? And now the expansion is just so beautiful, so exciting. What a beautiful contribution to humanity.
Yes, absolutely. And, I just want to say too, Mo Rock, his vision of Leadership Week, I just think it's such an amazing idea that was born from the idea of Fashion Week. And, we're celebrating art and clothing, but why not celebrate people and leaders? So, that's the LA Tribune's answer to Fashion Week. And we're just trying to make it bigger and better every year. So
I love that. And it really goes hand in glove with Mo's vision of positive news. My goodness, don't we need that at this pivotal time on our planet? Focus on the positive and on serving and on the heart.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Julianne. I did not know that. I always wanted to be in Fashion Week. Now I'm in Leadership Week.
You can still be fashionable while you're a leader.
I will be fashionable for sure. Yeah, but
I love your necklace.
Designer.
We could say in the top left square, we have Marie Diamond, who is wearing Chanel.
And that gorgeous
It
necklace.
is not Chanel.
In her
It is so
pale
beautiful.
yellow, which certainly has Feng Shui implications.
Oh,
Yes.
we could totally go into that.
There is a reason why I wear that for sure, because literally yellow is the color in Feng Shui for wisdom and inspiration. And I also wear amethyst stones because, again, that's a stone for wisdom and inspiration. So I did choose the colors, but it's not Chanel. Yeah.
Better than Chanel.
I do have one quick question. Will you tell us what crystals you bring to the hotels?
Yes, I always bring a white quartz crystal. Yeah. And so when I bring it with me, it is activated. So I have washed it with lavender soap or sea salt. I always put it a few hours in the sun. Yeah. So it's an activated crystal. And then regularly I can check always, like every few times I traveled, because white quartz crystal absorbs also energy, right? And so it actually absorbs some negative energy, and then regularly I have to wash and clear it. But it doesn't have to really be big, like something small that you can hold in your hands. And I put it next to my nightstand, so it's like literally close to my body. Yeah.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Good tip.
Beautiful. On that note, I want to say thank you from all of us to you, Dame Marie Diamond. You are such a pleasure, so full of wisdom and so generous with your time. And I know everyone here that's joining us either on screen or watching the screen is so grateful for everyone here. And so I just want to say thank you to everyone.
Thank you so much, Alisha and Julianne, for hosting, and all the wonderful ladies for asking the questions. And I'll see you probably very soon.
Yes. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Much love ahead.
The world is full of information. But information alone doesn't change the world. Stories do. For generations, media measured itself by circulation, demographics, and yesterday's definitions of influence. But the world has changed. Today, the most powerful currency in media is inspiration. At the Los Angeles Tribune, storytelling is not just journalism, it's art. We are a Grammy-nominated storytelling company, shaping narratives that reach across industries, cultures, and generations. Through documentary films, podcasts, audiobooks, virtual summits, global journals, and stages that bring leaders together, we share stories that uplift, empower, and move people forward. We blend the legacy of a historic newspaper brand with the creative power of modern media. Because the future of media isn't just about reporting what happened, it's about inspiring what's possible. We are the Los Angeles Tribune, a Grammy-nominated storytelling company, challenging the status quo of media